Okay, so, I mean, do we even know anything about the AFC anymore? Both the Chiefs and Ravens lost, and pretty much the only consistent thing about this entire NFL season has been the Detroit Lions, which should say all you need to know about the season. But without further ado, let's get into the recap.
No, never. Y'all will never do that again.
Confusion. That's all I gotta say from this game. This was supposed to be another contender matchup, a back and forth scoring, but it was just like a checkers match between two players who thought they were going to be playing chess. The Eagles did nothing on offense for almost 3.5 quarters, but the Commanders could never pull away or take advantage of any of Jake Elliott's misses, but the Eagles, for like the last few weeks, just continue to be bailed out by their talent. Saquon Barkley started doing things, and the game basically ended when the Commanders ran 3 plays from second and inches and couldn't pick up a first down, and from there it was all over. But I don't know, are you sold on this Eagles team? They're 8-2 and have won a ton of games, but they aren't scaring anyone, let's be honest here. This team is so beatable, and if you're not trying to take out Detroit in the NFC, then what are you even doing? You're just gonna lose. And as of now, Philadelphia and Washington would both lose by 30 to a Detroit team that shows up. So, I mean, Philly, you gotta play cleaner, and Commanders, I don't know, try and play more aesthetically pleasing football, because my eyes were burning. What if I told you that Baltimore had more passing yards, more rushing yards, more total yards, more yards per play, and even more versus the Steelers, and lost the game? What would you think? Would you be surprised? Well, of course you wouldn't be. We're talking about the Baltimore Ravens here. This is the way it's always been and will always be. And I feel like I've gone over this exact game like 4 times this season alone. Henry fumbled. Justin Tucker is actually a liability now. There's no way around it. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure, but at this point in his career, not only was he a major point in costing his team this game, but kicking was the only thing that the Steelers had going for them. Chris Boswell was the best player on the football field, because while the Ravens were ravening, Russ had a really bad game. Arthur Smith called a poopy game, but the Ravens just... Look, I hate to question the coaching, because I don't think the play calling or clock management was that bad, but like, this has been happening for years. So, I don't know, some of this has to be on John Harbaugh. Either that or there's some ethereal presence that needs to make sure that all Ravens-Steelers games are ugly, because Lamar was making plays all day. His stats look bad, but he was the only thing keeping the Ravens in this game. And honestly, this play where Lamar bought like 15 seconds only for this dot to just bounce off Zay Flowers is really how this whole game went. And although the Ravens got a touchdown to stay alive, a questionable 2-point conversion call doomed them where nobody was going out for a pass, and the Steelers now have control of the AFC North. But I don't know, man. I still love me some Russ, but he's not even playing that well right now, and he's getting a little bit too much credit, I feel like, for the Steelers defense that's carrying them to wins. But I don't know. Hopefully that blow-up game won't come, but part of me feels like it really, really will. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. They finally vanquished the Dark Lord of the Sith and Shane Waldron, and in came the mastermind that helped the Bears even get Caleb Williams in the first place in Thomas Brown, Bryce Young's former offensive coordinator. And you know what? Chicago's offense actually looked pretty damn good. I thought the game plan was great all day. The time of possession battle was dominated by the Bears. Absolutely dominated. The Packers couldn't buy a stop all game too, and remember, this is an amazing Packers defense, but Caleb Williams as a rookie quarterback in his first game with a new offensive coordinator, he was just picking them apart. Thomas Brown remembered that DJ Moore is a football player allegedly, and Caleb's legs were the main problem for Green Bay's defense. He was constantly bailing them out, and also, let's give some credit to the Bears' O-line. They played a good game, but still, you can't count out Jordan Love. And eventually, he started making a few plays, and after he found Christian Watson for a massive play, Jordan Love got in the end zone for a rushing touchdown, and the Packers had a lead. But it was also just a singular point. So now, it was time. Could Caleb Williams, the savior, go down the field and just for a moment put a halt on the transfer of ownership from Rodgers to Love? And he did a great job. He really did. The Bears went right down the field. Chunk play on 3rd and long. Gorgeous back shoulder throw to Rome. And then the Bears came to play. Let me ask you this. If you have a quarterback who damn near has a 100 passer rating and just confidently led the team into field goal range with beautiful throws one after the other, if you have the ball around the 30 and a timeout with 35 seconds left. Why in the flying would you just decide to take an HB dive and let the clock bleed all the way down? Tell me why you did this, Matt. This clock management should be punishable by rat torture, but sorry, I'm nitpicking. Let's kick this field goal in and let's move on to next week.
Oh my goodness, the Packers block it, and they're gonna win!
This is the most talented bad team in NFL history. In NFL history. I'm about to do a whole video on Aaron Rodgers' post-Packers career just because it's that incredible. And for everyone out there right now that's watching this video, please just enjoy the moment, everyone. This is rare, generational misery we're seeing from the Jets. They made Anthony Richardson look like prime Randall Cunningham, and AR did make some mistakes, but he took the Colts down the field multiple times, and honestly, I don't think they win this game with Joe Flacco, but seriously. Early on, it looked like the Jets were going to lose this game like 30-0, and people were going to die. Still, they then started fighting back, but the table needed to be run, so, the talent that is Devontae Adams and Breece Hall remembered that, they have talent, and after the Jets punched in a late touchdown and took the lead, they were actually going to win this game and turn their season around. But then, the Colts, with Anthony Richardson, in his first game back from being benched, went right down the field and scored a game-winning touchdown. The Colts are so back, and the Jets are right next to the Giants in Tankathon. The Giants with Tommy DeVito. I legitimately think the Giants are better than the Jets, too. So, I don't know. What more do you want me to say? The word implosion is not enough to even remotely describe this Jets team. I don't know how they did it. This entire team is f***ed. It's over. The season's over. It's been over for weeks, but it somehow keeps getting even deeper into the well of despair. I don't know how they do it, but for anyone that believed in the Jets, let's all realize that we learned a lesson. Never, ever, ever have faith in the New York Jets. Man, wasn't last week great? The bye week was really fun. I miss not watching Raiders football. Good times, but it's over now. At least there were positives from this game, though. Thank the heavens that our offense still looks like human waste in football form, or else we could have actually started winning football games. I guess that Jacoby Myers sweep was a good call, I think, but that was it. Besides that, our old tank commander, Norv Turner, looks like he's going to close out this season taking L's for the squad. But yeah, the most boring team in the NFL played a boring football game, and although we were in it, we kind of weren't. Tua played a pretty mid to bad game. He missed a lot of throws, but the Dolphins just out-talented and out-coached us in every facet of the game, and the two biggest touchdowns of the game came early on a 3rd and 20 holding call and a blown coverage to Jonnu Smith, and once again, I'm still shocked how little I look forward to every week with this team, and it is not getting any better. I was ready for the Rams to release a barrage onto the Patriots, and they did, but at the same time, this team just can't get out of their own way. If it weren't for the Bears existing, this would be the worst first quarter offense in football right next to Philly, and that didn't change versus the Patriots, but from there, they started to get things working. It turns out when you protect Matthew Stafford, he's going to drop dimes, and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were unguardable for most of the game, but even with Stafford having an efficient 4 touchdowns versus the Patriots, this was a close game, which is pretty much the kill shot for me. The fact that this game was close with the Rams offense playing perfect football for the better part of 3 quarters and was at the mercy of Drake May on a game-winning drive just says to me that this is not a playoff team that should be taken seriously. The Cardinals and Niners should be able to handle them easily for the division crown title, but I don't want to discredit the Patriots too. This team has less talent than the DC Defenders, but Drake May is that guy, 100%. The Patriots have themselves a franchise quarterback, and if teams had a chance to redraft this season, Jaden would probably go first, but the Patriots would gladly retake May again. This dude just makes plays, and this game was no different. Booty is still his #1 receiver, and he came close to stealing this game away too. So yeah, what more can you ask for, Patriots fans? The team didn't lie down and die, and we even got a fat guy touchdown. You love to see it.
What the fuck is this world?
Yes, sir, baby. Tank Commander Rizzy and Taysom Hill are here to keep the Saints far away from the top pick. And what a Taysom game this was. I mean, This has to be the first time the stat line has ever happened. Taysom threw a pick, had 140 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 8 catches, and a fumble. Taysom Hill is 34. How are you letting him do this? So, while the Saints are playing for nothing, the Browns saw the greater vision and had Jameis throw for 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and still lost by 21 to the Saints. I think this was a shootout, but at the same time, the score says otherwise. So, I mean, hey, well done, boys. Also, Dustin Hopkins is probably getting cut. The brother is ass. But seriously, Cleveland, you kind of have to start winning. I'm getting worried. We even have the tiebreaker over you guys. So please, can you lock in and win a game here or there? Because you are not getting that number 1 pick. It's mine.
I'm a man of my word.
This was exactly the game the Vikings needed to have. Darnold has been back in Ghostbusters mode the last 2 weeks, but sometimes the big man upstairs throws the Vikings a bone, and the Tennessee Titans are a perfect bounce-back team to get Darnold's confidence back up, because take away that Westbrook-Akine 98-yard touchdown, and this was a slaughtering. If we're also playing devil's advocate like that, then I gotta say, I'm not trying to be an old head, but this unnecessary roughness penalty changed the game, and it was just so bad. So bad. But yeah, for what it's worth, Will Levis has actually been like a bottom 14 quarterback the last 2 weeks, which is a massive compliment, but it doesn't matter. Tennessee is still going to be trying to take my precious Shadar from me.
Mr. Kraft, I am close to snapping!
I know there's a lot of Lions fans out there now, which is a wild f***ing sentence there. I know, Detroit Lions fans being a plentiful species is absurd, but the bandwagon is real, and I don't know. Lions fans, what do you want me to say? Can we just move on? Jared Goff absolutely lit up the worst passing defense in football. Alex Anzalone got hurt, which sucks. Mac Jones is bad, Lions good. Oh, I got nothing else. God only knows how Doug Peterson still has a job after they just suffered their worst loss in franchise history. F*** this team, man. Watch my documentary on Duval, please. Oh my God, this team might not make the playoffs. Last week, the Niners should have lost to a terrible Buccaneers team, but Baker couldn't get it done. But look, this week was basically the exact same game. The only difference between this week and last week for the Niners was we got some Seahawks buffoonery as always. Gotta love another fumbled snap to end a drive, and as the game went on, the Niners were playing okay to bad, but they were doing enough to beat a terrible football team in the Seahawks, and with Juwan Jennings legitimately being the best player on the field, not named Brock Purdy, despite McCaffrey looking mortal again, they were set to close out the game. Turns out, when Seattle can't stop 3 3rd and 10 plus plays in a row damn near, and can't get a first down on 3rd and 1 and 4th and inches, you aren't gonna win football games. Right? Not always, because it turns out Nick Bosa is pretty much carrying the entire Niners pass rush. And when he was out, Geno Smith saw an opportunity. Nick Bosa was on the sidelines, and all of a sudden there was a light at the end of this dark, dark tunnel. And after a Seahawks stop by the hand of Christ, Geno had a chance. The worst quarterback ever versus the 49ers apparently had to go down the field and get a touchdown to win the game, which seemed impossible, but he was amazing. Geno's been underrated all year long, and I've now accepted that he's just pretty good now, which is still hard for me, but Geno was not under constant pressure on that last drive, and just constantly made plays. Boom, pass to DK. JSN made his money too, and when the game was on the line, Geno called his own number twice and ran in the game-winning touchdown, and the 49ers, in Week 11, the Super Bowl representees from the NFC last year, are last in the NFC West. Oh, I love it. Way to close it out, Kyle.
That's funny. You haven't changed at all.
What the fuck was that? Okay, wow. Never mind. The Falcon rants are back and better than ever. Holy mother of Matt Ryan, we just witnessed carnage. Sean Payton came out there with a full mast and just gave it to Atlanta from the first snap to the last. This genuinely might be the only game of the entire year for any team where I don't have a single positive. I got nothing for the Falcons. I don't want to hear the injury excuse in this one, and I'm not even saying the Falcons are a better team than the Broncos, but to go straight from getting beaten down by the Saints last week and with a chance to prove your character as a playoff contender to now go out there versus Denver and just get gutted is... why? Why did you let this happen? This team can't guard anyone. They can't tackle. They can't move the ball. They're frauds. Just frauds all around. But good work, though, Denver, I guess. I don't know. It was really impressive stuff. Sean Payton is still a top 5 coach in 2024, which is nuts. And Bo Nix really has been proving me wrong. The second half of his rookie year has been extremely efficient, and this team is becoming scary for everyone. If you don't get ahead of Denver early, the poison is going to set in eventually, and chances are Denver is going to beat you if you're in a close game with them. So, once again, good work, Denver. I'm still shocked. It's really funny that this undefeated team came into this game as decent underdogs and literally nobody was remotely questioning it. Like, I think the Bills are damn near better, and let's be honest, everyone can admit the Chiefs have been getting absurdly lucky all year, and eventually it was going to come down to earth. It just had to. But honestly, the Chiefs played better than I thought in this game. For most of it, it was just a slow defensive slugfest type of game. And outside of like that one attempt to Xavier Worthy, this game had almost 0 big plays. And it was just a heavyweight battle. 2 fat dudes moving in circles until one of them found a small opening and landed the knockout punch. Now, both teams teased that at times. The Bills had a few great drives and Mahomes answered back, but the story of this game was really just in the stat sheet. The Bills were better than the Chiefs at literally everything. And I don't know, me personally, I think the Bills are better on paper still, like I said, and add in this game being in Buffalo, in front of an electric crowd, and all the added motivation from playing the Chiefs again in a rematch from last year's playoffs, and that's what led to the final knockout punch. Josh Allen on 4th down called his own number, did the thing with the thing, ran over some semi-normal sized NFL players, and that was it. The Bills stole the undefeated season from the Chiefs, much to the delight of 95% of the country, and sadly, we aren't the last team to beat the Chiefs anymore. But honestly, for how hyped up this game was and for how much everyone is still talking about it, there's a very good chance that this game literally has no implications on anything whatsoever. But in the moment, fun football game. Not much else you can really say.
But I tried. I actually fucking tried.
I think this game is just a test by the NFL. I don't see it any other way. They want to see how much more pain the Bengals can take before people start getting suspicious. Because early on, this game was looking like it was going to be worthy of getting turned off in the 3rd quarter. The Chargers just matched up really well versus the Bengals. And with Herbert playing lights out football, Cincinnati was on the cusp of getting blown out. But eventually the Bengals defense woke up and the Chargers began to charger again. And the Bengals kind of just figured out LA's defense. Burrow was under heavy pressure all day, but they were double teaming Jamar Chase on like every play. So when that happened, they kind of just went to T. Higgins, and any rare time Jamar was one-on-one, it was barbecue chicken. And just like that, Cincy was in it. Jamar had a huge 4th down touchdown, then another 4th down conversion for a touchdown, and this isn't even a comeback anymore. We got ourselves a football game for a full 4th quarter out of nowhere. This is what you want on prime time too. 2 amazing young quarterbacks going at it. And now, here's where that pain part comes in, because after the Bengals scored again, the Chargers defense actually got a stop, and now Money Mac just had to hit a 48-yarder, and this game is in Cincinnati's hands, and he missed it. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. The Bengals defense bought them another chance, and Burrow now got another opportunity to go down the field again, which he did to a solid extent, but we still have to remember this is a good Chargers defense, so it's not just free to go score a touchdown, but whatever. This is why he's paid the big bucks. Let's see what you got, Evan.
For the lead. Missed it again to the left. No good.
Well, there you have it. Okay, yeah, Justin Herbert then decided to wake up, and Lad McConkey turned into Wes Welker. J.K. Dobbins had a walk-off touchdown. Chargers win. Bengals lose. Another heartbreaker. And what did we really learn about the Bengals this week? Nothing. Let's be honest. Their season ended like 3 weeks ago, but it's still just funny. I don't know. I like entertainment, and the Bengals are bringing it this year, so it's just... I wonder how much more this is going to go on for. Like, are we going to get like 5 more weeks of the Bengals just losing heartbreakers and Joe Burrow throws for like 3 picks on the whole year? Because that might be how it goes. And I'd be down for that. It's pretty funny.
How much have you had to drink tonight? Not enough. Not enough?
This was the most painful blowout I've seen in a hot minute. Oh my goodness gracious. It was a blowout from the beginning, but scoreboard-wise, it wasn't. It was just Texans domination, but the Cowboys just could not do anything. The game looked like it was going to be like 59-0 in the first possession after the Cowboys allowed 2 long touchdowns, but one got called back, and eventually Cooper Rush just could not complete a pass. I don't know what else to say. CJ Stroud still didn't even play that well, but eventually the Cowboys offense just destroyed the Cowboys offense, bled to death, and the Texans got, once again, literally the least convincing blowout win you could possibly have, but I don't know what else to say. My biggest takeaway from this game is that I'm just getting so sick of every single hard hit getting called immediately for unnecessary roughness. The refs need to change something. But before we go, you know what time it is. It's time for the Tubfrog Discord Awards, where I turn to you, the people, to see what you thought were the best and worst plays and players from Week 11. And without further ado, let's begin. Because I asked what the best play was from Week 11, and it was Josh Allen's 4th down touchdown run, which, honestly, yeah, I think you guys got this one right. I don't know what else to say. Just good work. And then I asked what the worst play was from Week 11, and I am actually shocked the Bears didn't get this one. I was about to put the Bears like 10 times, but I guess the Cowboys double fumble for a Texans touchdown and ended up beating it out, but maybe there's some recency bias there. And then I asked what the best game was from Week 11, and it went to Chiefs-Bills. I don't know, dude. Bengals-Chargers was pretty good, but okay. Chiefs-Bills was cool, and it had the whole playoff rematch factor behind it. And then I asked what the best player performance was from Week 11, and Jared Goff just went out there and just... he literally had the opposite performance he had last week. I don't know if we're ever going to see a player win the worst performance and then the best in back-to-back weeks, but Goff did it. And then I asked what the worst team performance was, and it went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're really just piling it on Jacksonville. And then I asked what the best team performance was from Week 11, and the Detroit Lions did Detroit Lions things. Honestly, you could make the case that this was the Broncos, but... because the Lions just do this. This wasn't even that amazing for them. This is how they've been playing all year, but they got this one. And then I asked what the worst player performance was from Week 11, and Kirk Cousins really had a stinker out there. I guess the Broncos defense is that good, or maybe the Falcons are that big of frauds. Who knows? And then I asked what the best Breaking Bad character was, and it went to Walter. So, great picks, everyone. Anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, watch this video I did a few days ago on the Jacksonville Jaguars and their miserable NFL franchise. It's pretty good, trust me. And thanks to all my Patrons for putting $1. It truly does mean a lot. But anyways, until next time.